Yo, what's happening, man? It's your boy Rundown. If you're depressed watching your favorite sports team on the football field, but you just can't stop buying their gear, then congratulations. You might be a Raiders fan. But listen, man, don't trip. I got the perfect thing for you, man. Here at the Rundown, we have partnered with Fanatics to bring the nation some of the freshest Raider gear that you can get your hands on. I'm talking jerseys, I'm talking hats, and you know it's starting to get chilly out here, so it's best to grab you some drip for the frosty season while you're at it as well. So tap the link in the description down below, get you some fresh gear, man. Support the channel at the same time. It's a dub for you, dub for me, even though we're not getting that many dubs on the field at the moment, man. So remember, man, tap the link down below in the description to get you some fresh Raiders gear from Fanatics. Now let's get back to the show. Oh, what is the deal, man? What is going on and what is happening with my Raider family, man? You are back for another episode here of the Raider Rundown, man. And as we always tell you, full disclosure, today is a pre-recorded episode, okay? So we are not going to be, tapping in with the chat like we usually do, but I am going to be in the chat, you know what I mean, and answering any questions y'all do have of that nature, man. So, starting to like those morning lives a little bit better, man. Those 11 o'clock in the morning lives around this way, man. It's starting to be a little bit better for me in my schedule. So I think we might be shifting over to that, but y'all know what it is, man. We still going to give the content where it's necessary. Okay. So today we are still going to be talking about the Raiders injury report and doing all this stuff. Plus I'll say it like this. You know what it is when it comes to rundown content, man. We keep it flowing. And obviously, there are not too many things positive or just anything to talk about the Raiders besides of how much we suck. So we're not going to continue to harp on those things, right? We're just going to talk about what we need to talk about. And at the same time, what other rumors are in there, man. So without further ado, let's go ahead. Let's get this intro started and let's get the show cracking. Yes, sir. What's going on, man? You are back in the building for another episode here of the Raider Rundown, man. Now, like I said, today is a pre-recorded episode, okay? So just so y'all know, but don't let that stop you from the regular scheduled programming that I always tell y'all. Make sure you're hitting the like button, hitting the subscribe button if you're feeling what you're hearing. All right, I'm looking at the ticker right now, y'all. We at 2970. You know what that means? 30 more. 30 more, and we are at our 3K goal. And y'all know what time it is, man. If you don't know, now you know. Once we hit the 3K goal, we are going to be doing the jersey giveaway. It's going to be a fun show. It don't matter what time, what day we do it. We're going to figure out the day to hit that 3K show, and it's going to be a very, very fun time, man. I can't wait for that one. So make sure you guys continue to hit them buttons, man. We very close. We are very close, man. Appreciate each and every one of you that has tapped in and tuned in throughout the entirety of the journey, man. We still got some more to go. But you already know, man, today's pre-recorded. Like I said, usually if we're on a live show, we can go ahead and do the chat love, give some chat love, and do a roll call. But since we can't do that, y'all know what it is. What's understood don't need to be explained, man. It's much love to all the regulars, everybody that always shows up, man. Everybody that shows up to have that good football conversation above and beyond, man. It's much love always. So without further ado, let's go ahead. Let's get into a show, man. Quick show today. Like I said, it's a pre-recorded show. Not a live. And I'm starting to feel like this, man. I mean, we talked about everything we need to talk about when it comes to the Eagles and Raiders and what happened in that game. I'm starting to get to the point, me personally, I like my content to flow. And at the same time, I like my content to make sense. Not saying other people don't, but just me personally, I like to have time in with my content. I was thinking about getting in, a coaching list and all that. But then, I get to thinking about it. It doesn't make sense for us here on this show to start going through mock drafts and start going through coaching lists before next week's game against the Giants, right? We got to play that game because once we play that, we all know, okay, yeah, we're for sure probably going to be the number one, number two, pick overall. These are the coaches that might be interested in all the extra. So next week is very crucial. I didn't want to start doing anything of that type of work until next week is solidified and concrete. Once we do that, then we're going to start going through coaches. We're going to start going through schemes, quarterbacks that fit schemes, right? Because we're not even going to just say, hey, this is the coach that I want and this is the mock draft that we're going to do. We're not going to do that this year, bro. I think going forward in the content, we're going to do more. We're going to say, this is the coach that I want. What scheme does he run? Now, let's look at the quarterbacks coming out and say what scheme they run the best and who fits and who pairs with who, right? That's what we're going to do, right? We're not just going to throw mock drafts to the wind and hope shit stick. We're going to actually do some work. So today, right, what we're going to do is just go through the injury report for the Texans, go through some Raider recents, right? Maybe some stories that we got to talk about, things that we may not have discussed. Then we go ahead and get out of here, man. Now, if you're watching this might be at 6 o'clock. Okay, this might be at 6 o'clock. If you're tuning into a BTB show, you might see some more rundown content at 7 o'clock as well. So make sure you tune into the guys and fellas, Machiavelli and Trey and all them at BTB as well. So without further ado, man, let's go ahead. Let's get this injury report cracking, man. Let's see what we got as far as our guy. Boom. Get a nice little look at it, man. So now here we are. Okay, you see us. It's not as lengthy as it was, but Alex Bachman, full disclosure for everybody that is new here, that when we do go through these, right? When we do go through these, full disclosure, we know that on Wednesdays, on a full week, on Wednesdays, you don't really take the injury report too serious. You don't take it too serious. Wednesdays are the days that veterans and players can kind of rest a little bit extra, right? It happens all the time. Fridays are the days where you're like, okay, like this is getting serious, right? Fridays are the days where if their status says full or limited or if it says did not part on Friday, they're not playing on Sunday. That's just basically it. But, if the status decreases or it increases, you know what's going on. So you take this with a grain of salt. But Bachman, right, full participant, whatever the case. Jeremy Chin with a back did not part. I'm guessing that's due to veteran status and, him being a veteran. So he's getting a rest day. Same with Max Crosby. Rest day, right? Did not part. Tyler Lockett, limited with the knee. He's a veteran. Jordan Meredith was full. But, I don't remember seeing Jordan Meredith back out there in the lineup, right? Last week. I don't remember seeing him in the lineup. I probably got to look again, but I think Kappa started that game, right? Now, we're going to talk more in detail about this next one. Colton Miller with an ankle who is limited, right? They're trying to get him back, bro. They are trying to get him back. And the two big ones, at the bottom, or the other big one at the bottom, you see Geno Smith was a full participant today, meaning that Geno Smith is more than likely playing in the game this week against the Texans. Okay, great. So dandy, whatever. We talked about that. He needs to be playing, right? Ian Thomas with a calf, full, right? He's full participant. So here we are. Now, we're seeing this. Nothing really shocks me and stands out to me except one name, and y'all know exactly who it is. It's got to be Colton Miller. Now, let's have a real and honest discussion about what the hell is going on here, okay? Now, with the honesty, and as y'all can see, we have a new addition to the show. Say what's up to the people, big dog. But, right, let's be honest, bro. He's trying to rush Colton Miller back. Okay, I personally, and I really want to know how y'all feel about this. And we talked about this even last week against the Eagles, right? When it was just made known that, yeah, he's about to be back. Like, bro, we have to get these games done as quick as fucking possible, bro. As quick as possible. He's really trying to rush Colton Miller back for these 3 games, which make no sense at all. Now, we've gotten reports. It's varying reports, right? But we've gotten reports this week that Pete is headed for a buyout and things of that nature. This would be a move that doesn't make sense for a person that's already looking to check out and that's ready for a buyout, right? This looks to me and smells like a move from a person that's saying, well, if we can finish the season out strong, maybe I have a chance to come back and rectify the mistake. Mark, don't do it, bro. Don't do it, Tom. Don't. For the love of God, bro. I really hope that's not what's going on. And again, y'all know what's going on. What I hear from the grapevine, what can be known, I'll let y'all know. But everything I've heard so far, it's a wrap. It's done deal. Pete is not coming back. Okay, he's not coming back. So at that simple point right there, okay, and it's a lot to ask, right? Because we're trying to be as realistic as possible, but it's like somebody got to step in if he's realistically trying to rush people back from injury, right? Now, so some of you can say, well, this is a moot point. Well, it doesn't matter whatever we're talking about rushing people from injury. I'm going to let you know why this is a real fucking conversation, why this is an actual real conversation, and why I actually think this is what's happening. And it could be detrimental, very, very detrimental for weeks to come. Remember Brock Bowers when he was hurt earlier on in the year, right? And the whole time we're just like, hey, man, rest him, sit him, right? Sit him. It doesn't make no sense to try to rush this man and have him play, and we know he's not 100%, right? Now looking back on it and looking back at all the finger pointing that was going on, remember there was an article that came out that even put the blame on Brock Bowers for wanting to play. Right? The article came out that put the blame on Brock Bowers for not wanting to rest and wanting to play through the injury, which is shit he's paid to do. But either way, right? Okay, so hearing that, connecting the tea leaves with that, knowing how this organization gets down at this juncture right now, it's not out of the realm of possibility that they are trying to put this man right back on the field for these last couple games. Why? Now, another reason we should be angry. Why the fuck do I want to see Colton Miller, who I know is hobbled and needs to get right for next year, right? He needs to be 100% because we're going to have a rookie quarterback. And again, I don't want to hear any of y'all up in here spewing about trading Colton Miller this year. After this year, you got my attention. But this year, I don't want to I'm not entertaining it. I'm not even entertaining it. We about to have a rookie quarterback, bro. I'm not finna put a rookie quarterback behind a second-year left tackle who's barely played. Not gonna do that. So either way it goes, though, right? Either way it goes, I want to see. But in saying that, I want to see more of Charles Grant. These 3 games Colton Miller should be nowhere near the facility if he can't be, but if he's rehabbing for sure. But he should be nowhere near that grass. Nowhere near. Charles Grant should be getting the bulk of the reps, the only starting reps at left tackle for the remainder of the season. Stone Forsythe don't need to be out there. Colton Miller for damn sure don't need to be out there. Just needs to be Charles Grant. Would love to get Charles Grant out there against Houston this week. Some of y'all might be like, oh, shit, really? Shit, Forsythe done gave up 11 sacks. It is what it is. It is what it is. We might as well, bro. I want to see him against this competition. Shit, and we know what we need to work on. We know what needs to happen, right? Just like with Rodgers. Okay, we saw Rodgers play well against the Broncos, who have a good front, but then he struggled against the Eagles. They have a good front as well. So, okay, we take the parallels, right? We take those parallels. We understand what it is and what do we need to work towards. Charles Grant, same thing. Get me against competition, bro. I don't want to see him against peons. I don't want to see that shit. Even the Giants is good comp, right? They got Brian Burns. They got Abdul Carter. They got guys. It's good comp, right? I'll take that. Chiefs, it's whatever. You know, that's whatever. But it's good reps. It's good reps, whatever. But either way it goes, okay, he needs to be out there. Why we're rushing veterans back, I don't know. Another addition to the file and folder of why Pete, it needs to go. And he needs to be let the fuck go immediately before he continues to do more damage. Now, it doesn't matter at this point. The coach of that, he's probably, the buyout is real and he's going to get that buyout because he's a legendary coach. That's just the, the nature of the deal. But, coming into it though, that scares me. Looking at the Colton Miller thing, that shit right there scares me. Now, finishing with the injury report, I definitely want to get into some stories that came out today from the press conference of practice today too. Some things that were asked, and we definitely gonna discuss these a little bit further, man. So y'all know what it is, man. When we gonna discuss these things and really get into it, we call it, man. We call it. Yes, sir, man. Y'all know what it is, man. It is the Raider Recents. Now, there are some things I definitely want to discuss. Now, look, it's not no secret. We've been on, if y'all on this show or y'all been rocking with me for a minute, y'all know where I stand, bro. I've been already said the locker room's lost. Locker room's lost. I mean, there is nowhere else to turn, no other way to say it. We're fractured, we're divided. There is no unity within this team at all. Now, you know, me personally, I get critical of Genty. Why? Right, you know, I call myself running back connoisseur, number one. So love running back play. But at the same time, you know, there are some things that I do like that he does, right? I like the fact that he doesn't accept losing, and he's done this all season. This isn't something where it's new, right? You know, I remember where people got mad and there were some people angry that he talked about getting more carries, shouldering more of the load. And he said something about being the number 6 pick. You expect that. He's correct, right? Understand the expectation. I will say this. There are certain things that, you know, he definitely needs to work on. That's on the field. Off the field, I have no problem with the attitude. There hasn't been no attitude. Yeah. Be pissed off that we suck. Be embarrassed that we're trash. Yes. You can't turn on none of your sports shows, big dog. You can't go on Instagram. You can't go on Twitter. And you can't do none of that without feeling embarrassed that you're a part of this squad. And I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, right? I'm not on like personally for him, but it's just like, feel those things. It's what it's supposed to feel like, right? And that's how we're supposed to feel like. That's how we've been feeling for 20 plus years. That's how we've been feeling, right? So I love that. I love it. Some people will say, well, I don't know. You know what I mean? Well, I don't know how I feel about that. You should know how you feel about it. Good. You don't want no players up in here that's accepting bullshit. No players up in here that's going to accept mediocrity. We're not going to do it. So real quick, though, let's hear what he says. Let's hear what he says, because context is always good to hear the words, you know, straight from the horse's mouth.
Keep going, keep playing, but I definitely don't feel like we responded to that today. That was an embarrassing performance by us as a team.
Do you feel like you guys reached a little bit of a breaking point today when you say that you're embarrassed by it, by how that unfolded?
I mean, I wouldn't say a breaking point. We're still losing, so at the end of the day, the breaking point will be us getting a win, so and playing better than we did today.
So I guess in terms of being not as competitive as you guys, you know, have been in other games.
Yeah, I just think we just didn't play well today. That's really all it was.
How are you trying to keep from getting totally frustrated? You're not used to this. And it's been week after week where you're unable to be the kind of player you envision yourself being.
Just take it one day at a time. Obviously, we all come into the season thinking it's going to look a certain way. Keep going, keep going. Obviously, it's not going the way we all thought it would, but at the end of the day, I'm going to keep fighting and keep giving my all to this game, and there'll be better results.
Yep. So there we are, right? There we are. We're going to focus on two things that he said, right? We're going to focus on two things. Remember our conversation on Monday and our conversation yesterday, part of it too, about the lack of effort, about the give up, right? In no resistance in this team. What he says at the beginning of this interview says a lot, you know? He says, I feel like we didn't do that as a team. Feel like that was an embarrassing performance. They sat there and gave up. And that's what's been happening week after week after week. They give up when adversity hits. When they see that, oh shit, we're already down 10-zip. It's a wrap, bro. You can see the collective give up on the team from all 22 guys that take the field, right? That's offense, defense. And you can even put that on 33 based on the motherfuckers that play special teams too, right? So 100% correct, bro. You know, this to give up. And you know, hey, man, you can't be biting me like that, big dog. Man, but either way, we and then you look more truth spilled. And this is what I'm saying. I like the fact that we acknowledging these things. Yeah, goddamn right. It is not what we expected going into the season. My man has 700 yards collective with 3 games left, right? And this is not what I wanted to see from our 6th overall pick. Is it all his fault? No. Is there things he needs to work on? Yes. But just seeing what this is, seeing players speak in this manner, right? What What team do you see where a coach has players speaking like this and that coach returns? Never, right? Never. Just to show you how fractured we are. Just to show you just how bad it is, bro. Every time I turn on a media show and somebody's talking about the Raiders, it's not good light. Now, I'm gonna put it in preface it by saying this. We just started this by saying I like what he said. I like what he said, and I like the fact that our younger players are acknowledging this terrible shit that we're doing, right? We don't want to accept this mediocrity. Acknowledge it. Now, this is the example right here of old Raider shit, of shit that's status quo. It is what it is. Now, check this out. Now, this is just a quote, okay? This is just a quote. Geno Smith says Ashton Jeanty needs to lower his expectations. And this was in the same press conference. This was not in the same press conference, but this is today's press conference. Okay, Jeanty's that we just watched was from right after the game. This is Geno today. Okay, so let's hear what Geno says. I haven't heard this either, y'all, so we're going to go through it right now.
You talked about, the lessons and the adversity that you've gone through in your career. Ashton is not having the season I think a lot of people expected or that he hoped to have. Is there stuff you share with him or talk to him about to
if he's thinking about what other people are expecting, he's doing it wrong. Anybody in this building thinking about the outside is doing it wrong. We got to think about what we expect and what we can do and how we can be better all around. There's nothing outside of here that matters. Everything that's inside of here is what we have, is what we need. Anything else is wrong.
How hard then, Geno, or how easy is it to tune all that out, all that noise? That
it's easy for me, but if there's anybody else out there, I can try to help them. But it's super easy for me. I block out the noise. It really doesn't matter. What matters is what we do in this building.
You talked about the lessons and the adversity.
Now. He's not. Now, see, look, when you look at the quote right here, shout out to my dog Prez, because that is prime baiting right there. But when you look at the quote, you'll be like, man, what the fuck is he talking about? What is he saying? But when you hear it, nothing, and you can't be mad at what he said. I mean, you can't really be angry. He's got to be correct. I mean, why should he give a fuck about what we say? Even shit, what I say? Who cares? You feel what I'm saying? We're not there. We not working with them. We don't see them day to day. So honestly, he shouldn't give a fuck. Now, it's funny how, it always changes, right? Because if a team's doing good and you talking good shit, then all of a sudden it's like, man, we love the fans. We keep talking. It's all that. But then like when it's negative, it's like, oh, well, shit, yeah, I don't listen to these motherfuckers anyway. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, all right, bro, it's all the parallels. We all understand. We all lie. We all look at shit. We all do these things. But as of right now, in these circumstances, when shit's tough, you're 100% right. You do not need to be looking at what we're talking about, because everything we talking about is 99% we fucking suck, right? So it's like, yeah, I'm cool with that. Hey, big dog, calm down for a little bit for me, please. But speaking of that, right, and talking to that, I personally think that what he said wasn't wrong. What he said was not wrong. It was not wrong. But where we need to, where people might need to temper their expectations, because I think people just want to be mad at Geno, and I think people just want to like call Geno an idiot or whatever the case because of this year. I mean, I get the frustration, but what he said was not wrong. If Jeanty was worrying about what we were saying, what other people were saying, then hey man, you probably got to get that shit up out your brain. But at the same time, there's a reality. There's a reality that we do need to face as well when it comes to that. When you are the number 6 overall pick, there comes expectation. And we can't just let you skate by doing shit that maybe a third rounder or a second rounder would do when you were selected in the top 10, right? There are different, at the same time, I get what Geno's saying, and what he's saying is not wrong, but we also, everything's not just black and white. We have to live in that parallel where it's like, there are expectations for somebody selected as high as he is, right? For what he was compared to, there are expectations. So we can't sit there and just say, oh man, we'll be good with whatever you do next year. You just got to block out the noise. Like, no, fuck no. We're going to still have expectations for what he can be and what he should be, right? So, it's all about that parallel. But main topic of it, I don't think Geno said anything wrong there, right? I know a lot of us are going to be like, well, fuck Geno. If you see that, like, that just initial quote, you're gonna be like, hey, fuck Gino. Bastard. You know what I mean? But either way it goes, bro, he ain't say nothing wrong. He's right. Just block out the noise, real talk. Get to work. Genty got to work on a couple things as far as his game. Once he does that, I want to see a better Genty next year, right? I would like to see a better Genty next year. So getting into this now, we're gonna get into our last segment. My damn co-host has left me, right? He's left me, so he's gone. But so we go have to get into this last segment alone here, all right? But appreciate everybody for tapping in. As you already know, man, make sure you hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button. But we're going to get into the last segment of the day, man, which is it's the rundown, man. You already know what it is. Look, check it out. Usually we're talking about how we can defeat the Texans and things of that nature, bro. Come on now. We're not doing that. We're not doing it. There's no way we're beating the Texans, nor should we. Every Raider fan, I don't give a fuck if you call me fake right now or not, bro. We should be rooting for a loss. Loss. There's nothing for us to gain from winning. Pete's not returning, so there's no fucking culture we're building, right? We're not building culture because Pete's not going to come back. We're only ruining draft chances. We need the number 1 overall pick. If you want to select a quarterback there, fine, so be it. But you need that number 1 overall pick just so now you have bargaining chip. If you're not sold on the quarterback, but another team is, you can take those first round picks. It's just the flexibility to move around. Not only that, but the coaching carousels, right? You're a big bargaining chip will be, I have a number 1 overall pick and money, right? So how can we do these things? Now, it's going to be an ugly one in Houston, y'all. It's just going to be ugly, bro. I'm going to let y'all know right now, man. We might have to avert our eyes in a couple of times, man. It might be some times where we check out again because that defense is coming. That defense is coming, bro. They have to make the playoffs. They're in a race. They're in a tight race. So there's no fucking around for them. They have to come out here and they got to put belt to ass and they got to put foot on neck immediately. And that's what I see happening. I could see another shutout. I could see another shutout where we don't score a point. We don't score a point because the defense is so nasty. With their offense, it's only a matter of time before their running game finds rhythm or Nico Collins gets to killing us on the outside. It's only a matter of time, right? Dalton Schultz will find his way to the middle of the field multiple times and often. And CJ Stroud will have a nice little day. CJ Stroud will have a nice little day, man. Looking at that 250 range, man, looking like he's getting back on track. It's all going to work out for them. As far as our offense, it's going to be a struggle, dog. Genty was frustrated this last week against the Eagles. He's going to be for shit show frustrated this week against the Texans again. It's going to be another frustrating game here. But needed, necessary, right? It's necessary. Y'all know, I don't know why this is popping in my head, bro, but when forests have to regrow and grow trees back stronger, that usually happens after the forest maybe is burnt down, right? After a forest is burnt down, things, look bleak and grim and everything's burnt to ash and all that extra. But after a while, it gives life to new wildlife, new trees, new things of that nature, right? I know you gotta know a lot about this shit because if you live in California, you already know about them wildfires. But okay, this is exactly what we are. Right now, the forest is burning, right? The forest got to burn. Trees got to burn. Animals got to relocate and shit. It's bad. But after the earth is scorched, after everything burns to ashes, that's when new life can come up, right? That's when new life can come up and we can finally start looking at things with greener pastures. So right now, man, that's where we are. We're in the midst of the burning. And we'll see how it goes and how we proceed going forward, right? How we proceed going forward. But again, we said it all the time, man. We do this thing right, we could be looking at some greener pastures for sure. So make sure you guys are tapping on that like button, tapping on that subscribe button. I appreciate each and every one of you that is here, man. And let me know down below, right? How do y'all feel about these pre-recorded episodes? What is some ideas or some shows that you guys would like to see going forward in the offseason as well, man? Put them down below, man. Y'all, I'm gonna be looking at some suggestions on some shows that y'all would like me to talk about, y'all would like me to touch on. Whatever the case, man. I'm taking suggestions for the offseason as well. Y'all know how the offseason get, bro. It get dry. So y'all already know what it is, man. Let's take those suggestions. Let's really get some things going in here, man. And let's get some shows cracking. Make sure you guys liking this video, man. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're new and you're feeling what you're hearing, man. So for your regularly scheduled programming, we have today, right? But let me know how y'all feel about it. Let me know how y'all feel about the pre-records. But going forward, we're gonna go ahead and do a rundown on you on Saturday, man. We got a rundown on you on Saturday. I hope y'all prepared because oh shit, not even Saturday, Friday. My bad. We got rundown you on Friday because Alabama plays Oklahoma. So y'all will get a rundown you. That's where we talk college ball and do all our college stuff there. It's gonna be a good one. And Saturday, you're gonna get another rundown you because I believe Oregon takes the field that day as well. So a lot of college scouting that we're gonna be doing when it comes to these college games, man. There's a lot of scouting that's gonna be happening. I'm excited. Hope y'all are excited. And we're gonna hit this draft thing in this off season, this off season with a bang. We're gonna hit it right. So appreciate everybody, man. Make sure you guys are tapping in. Remember, if you want to be part of the Rundown blog, man, it just came out, man. We got all type of articles getting written, man. It's beautiful now. We getting real official. So if you want to be part of the Rundown blog, that's where I'm gonna start posting, some summaries about the shows, some more in-depth stories about things that I might hear, that I didn't get to touch on during the shows. We're going to be talking about prospects, all type of stuff during the newsletter, man, in that blog. So if you guys want to participate, man, make sure you guys, I'm going to drop the link down below. Make sure you guys all you got to do is drop your email in there, man. Drop your email, and you're going to be subscribed to the newsletter, to the blog, and you'll be getting that every time your boy drops something. So appreciate everybody again for tapping in for this short show today for the rundown. Y'all know what it is. Hit all them buttons. And you know what I say every time we about to get up out of here. We keep it authentic from the clouds to the ground on the Raider Rundown. Make sure y'all tune in to my guys BTB with Michael Velli. Tune in to my guys, The War Room. I almost forgot that. The War Room with Severe and 805 and Chris. And also tune into the Raider Connection with Leo, with LV, Jeff, and my guy Jay as well, man. So without further ado, I'm about this thing. Peace.